welcome to my cozy corner of the internet. Ghibli films are the coziest films ever, and they are art, and they are so beautiful. And you know what else can be cozy, beautiful, and art? Cozy games. So today I'm going to recommend you some cozy games that feel like they're a part of the Ghibli universe, have the same art style, the same feeling to them, and yeah, without further ado, I'm just gonna talk about the games. I don't want to bore you too much. Let's go. I want to start with Spiritfarer. If Spirited Away had a cousin in the gaming world, it would be Spiritfarer. In this beautifully animated game, you play as Stella, a fairy master guiding spirits to the afterlife. You're not fighting monsters or rushing against time. Instead, you're cooking meals, building homes on your ship, hugging your passengers, and helping them find peace. It's one of the best games you can play on grief, love, and saying goodbye. The art style is lovingly hand-drawn, reminiscent of Ghibli's elegant use of light and expression. If you love the bittersweet emotional arcs in Spirited Away or When Marnie Was There, this game will feel like a warm, meaningful journey. It's perfect for those days when you want to slow down and feel something deeply, like, you know, sometimes you just want a good cry. This is the game to go when you feel like that. Then, of course, we have Ni no Kuni Wrath of the White Witch. This one is the most literal pick on the list because Studio Ghibli themselves collaborated on it. Their fingerprints are everywhere. The animations, the music by Hisaishi Joe, and just the sheer sense of magic the game exudes. You play as Oliver, a boy who travels to a fantasy world to save his mother. Along the way, you collect and train creatures, meet eccentric characters, and fight dark forces. It's literally like getting to live inside a Ghibli movie, especially one that combines the magic of Howl's Moving Castle with the adventure of Castle in the Sky. If you're the kind of person who still treasures childhood imagination and wants to believe in parallel worlds filled with wonder, Ni no Kuni will feel like coming home. Another one I want to recommend is Kenna Bridge of Spirits. This is a visually stunning game. I admit at first glance it doesn't give the Ghibli vibe a lot. It looks more like a Pixar film, but the spirit of it is deeply Ghibli-esque. You play as Kenna, a spirit guide helping restless souls move on. The world is lush with forests, ruins, and ancient magic, and the little spirit companions called the Rot are so adorable, and they really remind me of the dust bunnies from Totoro, or should I say Soot Sprites or Soot Gremlins. I watched it so many times with different subtitles, so I don't know which one to call them. There is combat in the game, so be warned, but it never feels out of place. If Princess Mononoke resonated with you, like the tension between nature and corruption, the lone heroine trying to restore balance, you will find a lot to love here. It's a fantastic pick if you're in the mood for something adventurous with a meaningful emotional core where beauty and loss exist side by side. The next one is an obvious one, but this video couldn't be made without mentioning it. It's none other than The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild. I mean, what can be said about Breath of the Wild that hasn't already been said? It's one of the most beloved games of all time, and part of that love comes from how it captures the spirit of wonder. Its landscapes, quiet shrines, friendly villages, and ancient mysteries give it that open-hearted, exploratory feel we all feel in Ghibli movies. The next game I want to talk about is Spirittea. So imagine if Stardew Valley and Spirited Away had a love child. That's Spirittea. You move to a quiet town and discover that the local bathhouse is filled with invisible spirits who need help. You fix it up, tend to their needs, and slowly become part of this supernatural community. There's a lot of whimsical humor, soothing routines, and heartfelt dialogue. It shares Ghibli's love for the unseen world coexisting with the mundane. You'll enjoy it if you're looking for something slow, gentle, and filled with quirky characters that make the world feel alive. Next up is Europa. This game feels like a love letter to quiet exploration. It's set on a terraformed moon, and you play as an android gliding through overgrown cities and peaceful lakes. It also has a really beautiful Ghibliesque story told through voice records. It kind of reminded me of The Wind Rises. The dreaminess, the sense of drifting through a world built with love, and the gentle ache of nostalgia, it's all there. That then we have Ori and the Blind Forest, and there is also a sequel called Ori and the Veil of the Wisps. Not many games can break your heart and lift it in the same breath like these games do. The game's world and nature feels so sacred and special. The glowing visuals and beautiful music create something deeply emotional. If you love stories that make you feel so many things all at once and you don't mind a little challenge, Ori will stay with you long after you finish it. I also need to recommend Behind the Frame, The Finest Scenery. I swear this game is a warm cup of coffee in a video game form. You play as an artist painting her masterpiece with puzzles that are just the right difficulty, and the story is told through her art. The animation is soft, detailed, and deeply inspired by Ghibli's attention to everyday beauty. So think Whisper of the Heart meets From Up on Poppy Hill. It's short, sweet, and full of soul. If you're someone who enjoys the quiet moments where not much happens but everything feels meaningful, this game will wrap you up like a soft blanket. And then we have A Space for the Unbound. This game is so full of heart. It's set in 90s Indonesia, and you play as two teens dealing with supernatural events, personal trauma, and blossoming love. The pixel art is beautiful, with an atmosphere that mixes magical realism and slice of life storytelling. It has echoes of Only Yesterday and Spirited Away. You know, like that sense of memory, youth, and transformation. So this one is for you if you want a story that slowly unfolds into something deeper, with a vibe that's dreamy but still grounded. Now we have Kiki's Delivery Service, the game. I mean, it's not called that. It's called Mika and the Witch Mountain. So in this one, we play as Mika, a young witch in training who delivers packages, of course by broom, to island townsfolk. The vibes are immaculate, flying around, chatting with villagers, and just existing in a bright, breezy world. It's full of charm and small joys. If the idea of delivering packages while listening to cozy music sounds good, you will absolutely adore this game. Then we have a very recent release, Fantasy Life: The Girl Who Steals Time. This is the newest in a Fantasy Life series, and it continues to blend life sim mechanics with RPG adventure. You can be anything: a cook, a fisher, a warrior, a wizard, and you can switch whenever you want. The time travel element also adds a new twist as you explore the islands across different eras. I think the playfulness and versatility give it big house moving castle energy. We also have to talk about Doraemon Story of Seasons. If you take the cozy farming of Story of Seasons and mix it with the wholesomeness of Doraemon, you get this gem. The watercolor art style is literally breathtaking. You farm, fish, raise animals, and form relationships in a peaceful town. The highlight of this game is the beauty of slow living. It really feels like My Neighbor Totoro in video game form, especially if you're the kind of player who enjoys the little things: the morning light in your garden, the sound of rain, the smell of food cooking. I know I talked a lot about the joy of the small things in this video, but I guess that's kind of the heart of Ghibli. And then we have Hoa, a short and sweet and a completely magical feeling game. You play as a tiny forest spirit navigating a gorgeous hand-painted world. The colors, the music, the overall softness of it all, it's all just breathtaking. It's a platforming game, and I know that for some people that sounds instantly intimidating, but I promise it's easy and you can't die anyway, and the gameplay feels really smooth. It reminds me of My Neighbor Totoro, especially the sense of scale and wonder. If you've ever wanted to just be in a world that feels good to look at and good to exist in, this is the one. It just has that instant feel-good effect. And finally, we have Summer in Mara. In this one, you play as Koa, a cutie girl exploring islands, farming, crafting, and helping out other islanders. There is no combat, just a slow, sunny rhythm of island life. It's vibrant and colorful and really captures that nice feeling of summer. It can get repetitive as the story is around 20 hours and there's not that much happening, but I really enjoyed playing it for an hour every day for around a month month a few summers ago. It made me start my days in this cozy, feel-good energy. It brings to mind Ponyo with its seaside warmth and emphasis on caring for both people and place. I think you would like it if you're looking for a laid-back adventure with small fetch quests and sweet encounters. And that was everything for this video. I hope you find the next game to play, and I hope you feel super cozy and nice while you're playing it. And you can let me know in the comments what's your favorite Ghibli movie, and if you have any other cozy game recommendations that feel like Ghibli, please let us know so we can all check it out. I post a new video every week, and I have a monthly series where I talk about the upcoming cozy games of the next month, so you can subscribe if that interests you. And I'll see you in the next video next week. And bye bye. Stay cozy.